What's up, everybody? This is the Jedi. So, I did this video earlier this morning after I was pissed off after watching the Roland Martin show. I missed it yesterday morning. And they played a clip of this big dust up that took place yesterday with regard to this birth of a nation. In a very rare move by myself, I decided you would have gotten this video this morning, but I'm just sick and tired of ranting, you know? And, I have to listen to my videos back because I have to make sure that I didn't leave any of the edits, like when I do segments and then I end a segment so that my screen capture doesn't run out and then I'm linking up another segment. I have to make sure that the countdown, sometimes there's videos out there, you guys have probably heard them, where you hear me go 3 2 1 and then I do a click. That's just my own cue that's why I'm going to break the video, whatever. Anyways, so I have to hear it back, and then I'm listening, but more than that, I'm listening to it as a third person, not as myself. And most of the time I just listen to it with my eyes closed to see, do I understand what this person is communicating to me? And then, is that universal? Will every intellectual level be able to understand it, from the youngest to the oldest, from the smartest to the dumbest? And then if it's all that, then I release it. But I'm just tired of ranting, and I don't set out to rant. Um, but I just am responding to whatever it is that I'm talking about. However I feel about that in that moment, that's what comes out of me. You know. Um, Having said that, this may be a failed attempt because I do feel so strongly about this. Um, I'm still gonna be bringing the long form video that I've been telling you about, but this is like, I don't want to wait on this. I really do want to get this out because I feel so passionate about it. I thought I was done with the Nate Parker Birth of a Nation, that whole thing on either side of it, either the Nate Parker or Birth of a Nation. In fact, anything that I'm going to do on Birth of a Nation, I felt was going to be after I actually saw the movie itself. Because I do intend to see it. Like I said, I just didn't want to see it when I need to see it when I'm going to be able to go in and see it and not come out and start killing people. You know what I mean? So I know what's best for me. But this I needed to address because this control yourself, Jedi. Control it, control it, control it. This person on the right of your screen is a disaster area, and she's dangerous. She's dangerous. Dangerous, dangerous, dangerous to black women, and she's dangerous to black men. I'm someone who's first to the front of the line to defend women. You know, I deeply care about our women. I do. I come from a family mostly populated by women. There's 9 children, 5 of those are girls. And I was raised by my grandmother. You know, I'm also a Muslim. And Muslim men put women in the highest esteem. You know, everybody on this planet wants to go to heaven. Muslims call it paradise. You know, and Allah says to the man, paradise lies under the feet of the woman. You understand? So the woman is greater than that even. This is Allah is trying to communicate to you the high importance of the woman. She's she's beyond, you know, that your creator would say to you, paradise lies beneath the feet of the woman. That's how special she is. And then we look that Allah allows the woman to be directly involved and to participate in the miracle of giving life. Allahu Akbar. There's nothing greater. So it's about your perspective. You know, if you don't really understand the importance of the woman, then it's very easy to uh, be at war with her if that's just your motivation. So this person is extremely dangerous because there is this proxy war that goes on between y'all non-Muslim Christian, y'all non-Muslim men and non-Muslim women. You know, she furthers that, but she also is damaging to women because there's a lot of brothers out there that want to cast the black woman as just bitchy and against them and out to destroy them. And I mean, I've seen some of the worst stuff from brothers here on the internet, and they're not joking. They're serious. Like, I've heard them speaking and watched them say it. They believe like black women are out to get them and all this. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But here she is. Now, the sister in the red, she was in the movie. All right. Thing in the black didn't even see the movie. And she's trying to make it all about rape, which it's not. I'm going to play you the segment. I'm going to cut in, as we go. But she is, her whole thing is she's too, like I started out saying, like, I am so at the forefront. I'm the first in line to defend and protect our women and to stand up for them. That is one of the many marks of being a man. And here she is. Her whole thing is to turn anything into it's men against women, and she's anti-men, and in this case it's rape, which there's not even a rape scene in the movie. And she proclaims, she goes, well, there's a rape scene in this movie, and it's predicated on that. And then the sister in the red goes, no, bitch, it's not. There's not even a rape scene in this movie. Well, isn't that the treatise on the film? She goes, no, it's not. It's not. And then you just hear like dead silence for a little while. And then you'll hear at one, I pointed out, but you'll hear at one point where she says, because the sister in the red keeps trying to bring her back, like, wait, we supposed to be sisters here, you feel me? But no, for her, it's all about trying to put the nail in the coffin, or to bring a coffin to put a nail in for Nate Parker. And I'm really, really bitten in the ass about that, because I'm not going to accept any talk of rape at all. Remember that we had something not too long back where there was some, I don't remember what it was now, and it was on this same show, and she might have been one of the heifers that was up there. And it was about something else, and they suddenly turned it into women and rape, or rape in the black community, or some bullshit. Remember? I'm over it, because it delegitimizes real issues around black women and rape. Was she raped as a child? Is she just not getting any penis? Maybe both those things are in effect here. But she's clearly vindictive. And everybody on the panel is trying to, they're actually being too damn nice. I would have just cussed her out and told her to get the hell off the damn set. but they're in their own way. Each one is like, that's not what this is really about. Like, what do you know? But somehow she wants to make this about, well, we need to discuss the issue of rape. We don't need to discuss that. You go to Oprah, or you go write a book, or you go down the street, or you get your own show, you do something else. That has no issue with this movie. Nate Parker was found not guilty in the 1990s. Period. The end. A dark-skinned black man being found not guilty of rape of a white woman in America. That's the most solid verdict you're ever going to get. Period. And she's protesting the film, and she's doing it all. And I need her ass to just be killed. Period. Now, let's go into this and we're going to walk through it. I just want you to see how vindictive she is. And I'll point some things out along the way. It's ridiculous. And the sister in the red, I just know when it was all over, I'm sure the sister in the red went and just jerked her into a knot. It, like, just, oh my God. Anyway, all right, let's see this first part of the segment.
Slave rebellions, armed resistance on the part of African Americans. It needs to be in the same conversation of the Civil War and the American Revolution. It deserves that place in this project that we called American Freedom. It deserves that level of consideration. When people are told, when you tell people that they shouldn't go see a movie like this, and it reduces, it not, and I want you to hear me. When I take that back, I don't mean you're reducing this to what happened with Nate. Because, like I said, if you want to rake him over the coals, if you want to condemn him, you are right to do that. You are absolutely right to do that. But there's also this other place, and I know you would agree, that we have been stripped of our history. We've been stripped of the opportunity to know who we are by systems of education that explicitly, it's a campaign of suppression about telling us who we are. Now, you may have had a different educational experience than I had, but I can tell you what I had. I can tell you what my nephew had. I can tell you what my niece is going to have in Mississippi. And it's not just in Mississippi, it's all over this country. And so why can't we operate from a place of, look, there has been this violation that's happened, that African-American history has been stripped away from us, that there has been a campaign of suppression about who we are in our American history, that has happened. You would agree that, right? Let me please. You would agree that has happened, right?
I agree. But in addition to that, Black liberation does not start and stop with this film. There are freedom fighters who are from Mississippi, like a Fannie Lou Hamer, who talked about the violence of women, who stood up for that's a part of Mississippi's history. Wait a second. Fannie Lou Hamer is a part of Mississippi's history. No accusations of rape. There are activists like a Jasmine Walker who are doing important work around Black women's reproductive justice and rights. It does not start and end with Nate Parker. And all I'm saying is because the movie also features a rape scene. Nate Parker, if we can understand.
Yes, we're
but if we can understand. The narrative that we have been given is that Nate Parker, the way it was written, or Nat Turner, is starting this revolution in opposition of a Black woman's rape. What I'm asking you to see, that if the point of this movie is that all of us can be a Nat Turner, if that is in all of our lineage and history, then I am telling you that right now Black women are tapping into that and saying no.
Now, I had to stop it there because I want you to listen after the sister in the red comes back and tells her there is no rape scene in this movie, just the dead silence. She's got all that. And Black women are standing up and saying no. I'm trying not to go off, y'all. It's very difficult. I'm telling you, because I hate stuff like this so bad. Oh my God. I can't. I can't. Ah. You know, we all are Nate Parkers and this and the third, and she's just determined that this is going to be about fucking rape, and it's not. But hear this now. Hear this.
There is no rape scene in this movie.
Is there a rape narrative in this movie?
There is a rape narrative, but there is no rape scene in this movie. Not one.
Is that,
you see the aftermath.
Yeah.
You see the aftermath.
Is it not the precipice for it?
No, it is not.
For Nat
No, it
Turner's
is not.
rebellion?
It is not. And that's some of the misinformation that has happened in these pieces. Is they're saying that that's the reason that he did the rebellion, completely ignoring the fact that here was a man who was a preacher. And so what he saw was, I'm being used as a tool for these slave owners to suppress and subjugate black people. And I can no longer do that.
Right. And that history stretches way beyond Nat Turner and Nate Parker and The Birth of a Nation.
You know that.
So I'm asking us to lean into our history to incorporate that.
But here's something.
You have the privilege of knowledge, sis.
Right.
And
but I'm giving us another option. We have Fannie Lou Hamer. We have Harriet Tubman as another option. But I'm asking us to do the work and make people
Okay. Now we have the opportunity, right? I see this as an opportunity that we can do all of this. We can use this movie as a platform to talk about black liberation.
Absolutely.
To talk about how rape is being used as a tool of economic subjugation, not just on slave plantations, but on college campuses.
Right.
We can do all of that. And at the same time, not condemn people for going to see this movie.
But here's the thing
but the opportunity, this is the thing. You have
right now. We are leading a whole movement about this.
Going back and forth really at this point with the same perspectives that you both want to make very, very clear. I think that what you're saying, what you both is saying is important. But what you're saying is that people need to hear about Nat Turner and know about Nat Turner, and that this film provides access to a story that would not be told otherwise.
Not in this form and not at this time. That is what I'm saying. Not at this form and not at this time.
I understand, but I think we have to look at what I don't like about what's going on here, and you're seeing some of that, is that there's an absolute right and an absolute wrong, and I think that's not sensible, because the whole thing is a violation. There's multiple violations here. There's a violation of black people, black humanity, black lives. That's why Nat Turner did what he did.
Exactly.
There's also the rape that Nate has been associated with. That's part of his experience. And that people care about that occurred and are offended by that should be honored as well.
I had to break in here, everybody, because you saw there was crickets after your girl in the red said there is no rape scene in this movie. It was just fucking air. So essentially, without that, then fat bitch, what's your issue with this movie? Why are you here? Why are you here? You see, she's dangerous. Dangerous. She's trying to drag down a man and a movie. And by default, her fucking people, too. Because, I don't know if I'll play it or not, but at one point, the dude that's up there, the little asshole in the middle, he says, well, you know, I'm from South Side of Chicago, and I didn't know this full story. I'm embarrassed to say. You see? So he's making the point, but for your rape bullshit, so am I supposed to be denied this story? And you see that she sits there with this fucking smile on her face. First of all, she ain't getting no dick. Let's just put that out there flat and honest. The bitch ain't getting no dick, period. She's not getting any. She's not. Because she's the type that would drive the fucking dick away from her. You understand? Even if brother was kind of plotting on her a little bit, it would be over once she opened her damn mouth. Because she hates men, obviously, and she may have been raped. So then go and write a book about your story. Go fucking talk to Oprah. But don't try and pull down this man who is fucking been acquitted of this crime. And the bitch it happened to is dead and in a grave any damn way. Period. We weren't in the courtroom. We don't know anything. You didn't sit on the jury, most importantly. She makes me sick. Oh my God. I want to play you a little bit more of this. And then I'm going to bitch and rant at the end. God damn it.
Hollywood works. And the reality is this here. And again, that's why I made that point yesterday. I called a number of brothers and sisters who are in the business. She's in it. Mm-hmm. If the narrative, this is why, and I need you to listen to me here. as somebody who's been in black media all my life, and black media has always established the counter narrative mainstream. If the narrative is it's a flop, there literally are a litany of potential movies of other black freedom fighters, Marcus Garvey, Fannie Lou Hamer, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, I go down the line, where it will cause pause for those projects to move forward.
And that's also not fair.
No.
And that's our job.
No, Amber, I understand that, but follow me here. Let me bring it full circle. I interviewed Charles Dutton in 2012, who was trying to make a Nat Turner film. Went nowhere. Dr. Greg Carr, Howard University, said I.C. Davis and some other cats tried to do it. It's been literally 50, 60 years, brothers and sisters, been trying to make Nat Turner film. And then it gets actually made. And so my concern, which is very important because I know this how the system works, is that if one is branded failure, what happens is it's, okay, we're not going to do any of those again.
Right.
And because literally, George Lucas, when he went to do Red Tails, with 7 major studios, they told him, ain't no white heroes. All the people who are evil are white. He said, well, the heroes are the black soldiers. They said, we're not going to put it out. He personally financed it. So when I was talking about the narrative, the reason I did not call it a flop and won't call it a flop is because, for one, the fact that it actually got made after 50, 60 years, makes $7.2 million, earns an A cinema score, 78% of the critics actually approved of it. And so now what I'm saying is I'm not going to accept, as a member of the black media, a mainstream media narrative that it's a failure when on any other scale, 12 Years a Slave made $6.6 million in its widest release. This made 7.2. I'm not going to call it a failure. So now I hope you understand why, as a member of the black press, I'm not falling for somebody else's story of, oh, that's a failure, when I'm saying, actually, it's not.
There's another problem here. There's another problem here.
Okay.
No, Amber, you said a lot, sister.
Amber, 1 second. Amber, 1 second.
I want to add something else to this, though.
Then I know you got to go. I know. Just hold on.
The mainstream
I'm getting everybody.
The mainstream so-called white media makes flop after flop after flop after flop, and gets to make a flop and still make another movie.
Yes.
So even though what you're saying is true, we need to resist that kind of racism where we only get to make one movie and it's an alleged flop, and now we can't make any more movies anymore. That's racism, white supremacy.
Absolutely.
And we need to throw a wrench into that.
And that's why I said Jennifer Aniston. That's why I made the point about Just Right. Made $21 million. Hollywood said, oh, that put a pause in every black romantic comedy. And I said, well, Jennifer Aniston can make 30 romantic comedies and they flop. She gonna have a 31st. Okay, Amber, Giano, then Anjou.
I totally agree with that. But at the same time you're making this critique, Roland, you also place the blame for all of that onto black women.
No, I didn't.
You see there? All of that. She didn't hear nothing about how Hollywood works. She didn't hear nothing about the importance of the story. You heard my boy Cleo tell you've talked a lot. Like, your fat ass needs to shut the fuck up is basically what he was saying. I'm translating. You see what I'm saying? She's a danger, everybody. She's a danger. But all of that, and Roland could not have laid it out any more eloquently than he did. Yeah, I'm a member of the black press. He gave all his credentials. I know how this works, etc., etc., etc. And what does the bitch come back with? But you still put that on the backs of black women. No, the fuck. Take your fat ass. God damn it. Now, you see, I'm trying to illustrate, and I'm just getting worked up. I'm trying to illustrate. She delegitimizes real women issues because she comes off as a whiny bitch who's just looking to, without any discretion, throw the man under the bus and accuse men and all this. And again, she's trying to make this whole thing about rape of women when there's nothing about rape to be talked about in the context of this fucking movie. I'm over her fat ass. Ugh. Let's go on.
Amber, what you just said is factually incorrect. I did not.
I'm about to draw my receipt, okay?
Go ahead.
When you retweet and you co-sign articles that say black petty black feminists are the reason why this film wasn't able to succeed, you're not only pushing the narrative that somehow black movies are flopping because of a narrative of flopping, but you're also pointing to the wrong person who's starting this, which isn't black women. It's the media.
So wait a minute.
It's white folks.
So wait a minute. So Amber, 1 second.
No, it's not petty feminists. It's your fat ass. And yes, because black women do hold a lot of power. I wish you would exercise your power. You hear me say all the time, black women could change the entire dynamic of our community overnight. Overnight, if they stop cowering and catering to fucking non-worthy ass niggas. You understand? Assert your power. Stop heat seeking for the dick. You understand? Oh, don't let me get into that now. But I'm bringing that to use to say that yes, she is, when she's saying that you're saying that black films are flopping because of black feminists. If your fat ass is allowed to keep breathing and talking, they will. You see? Because it's margins. And stuff like this can affect the margins, especially if you have women that really ain't thinking for themselves and really don't know what's going on and would just trust what she's saying, because they think she's credible or something like that. She's a problem. She shouldn't even be on the panel. She shouldn't have shit to say. If your issue is rape and all that stuff, fine. That's fine. But you're in the wrong fucking theater. This has nothing to do with that. Nothing. And I wish after the sister told her, look, ain't even no rape scene in this, and the bitch got quiet, I wish somebody came back and said, then why are you still here then? Don't you got someplace you need to be? Like, don't you got like a bus or something you got to catch? Like, I don't know, maybe we just call you like a Uber or something, just, you know what I'm saying? Because your issue is not present here. And if your issue is to just sit here and attack this because you want it to be a reality that Nate Parker is guilty in spite of his acquittal in a court of law in the whitest fucking country in the fucking earth, then we need to have your ass checked into fucking rehab or something, fat bitch. You see? I'm not going to ease up on her. I'm not. Because this is just as poisonous to me as anything that you're going to bring me that I indict this fucking white devil for. Evil is evil, everybody. And I don't like injustice and unfairness no matter where the fuck or who it comes from. And we're at such a critical time and a critical moment in present history on a precipice of either disaster or success. And we can't have, I don't even know how old she is. It's not really relevant so much. But we can't have vindictive bitches like this out there. Because to me, this is vindictive based on her lack of getting any penis, or maybe she was raped, as a child. I don't know. But there's definitely some vindictiveness going on here. Her whole body language says it. And even when the sister in the red is trying to bond with her, and she's calling her sis and stuff like that, trying to have like a female, like kind of bring her back to her womanness. Like, wait, we sisters here. You see what I'm saying? The bitch still couldn't be rehabilitated. Fuck her, dude, and any bitch like her. Let's go on.
As somebody who's in the black media, as somebody who has spent more years in black media than anything else, what I've always done, whether I at the Houston Defender, Chicago Defender, Dallas Weekly, Major Broadcasting Cable Network, Black America Web, Savoy Magazine, is that I also speak to standards in black media. So when I am communicating, if I disagree with somebody's writing, I will disagree with somebody in black media the same way I'll disagree
with black
No, one second. I will disagree with a Bill O'Reilly, a Megyn Kelly, and a black writer if I believe what is written is factually incorrect. Yes, I will. Okay. Here's Gianno, go ahead with your comment.
Yeah. So my thoughts is, Amber, you're an influential black feminist leader here in D.C. and I'm kind of, you know, although I do this TV and everybody here on this panel is an influencer, I'm kind of embarrassed to say that I didn't know the story fully of Nat Turner. So with that being the case and not knowing it, just to your point, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Because he was enslaved.
But I want to be real. I want to be real.
Gianna, go ahead. Gianna, make your point.
To Anjanu's point, me being someone here in DC, and a lot of times we come off as we're the complete expert and we know everything there is to know. But just to your point about there being some folks in Mississippi that may not know the story, me being from the south side of Chicago, there's people on the south side of Chicago that don't know the story. So if we're not having at least one movie, to Roland's point, where we can build on it to talk about all these other folks that you know of, these other black heroes, these stories that need to be told, and we're telling people, via you, well, I shouldn't go and see it, and they don't go and see it, then our community loses.
Did I ever say not learn your history?
Okay.
No.
I think a point here.
I want to go to Cleo, then I want to go to Anjanou.
I think a point that I hear bubbling up over here is that we need to be strategic on behalf of black people and on behalf of black liberation, meaning that we need to raise the issue of rape when it's relevant, and it apparently is in terms of the history of Nate Parker. We need to raise it and talk about that being a problem and take it out of the closet, if you will, because it's not talked about enough. And we need to talk about Nat Turner and a film about him that finally got made, and make people make an informed decision instead of beating people up for making any kind of decision.
I got to jump in again because you see, Cleo was just being nice there. You know, they're on television, you know, and he's just trying to appease her fat ass. Yes, I'm going to be insulting the entire time. You don't like my insults? Click your ass away. Get to stepping. Not going to sit here and call her a fucking princess when she's a demon. So he's trying to appease her fat ass by saying, you know, we can have the discussion about, you know, Nate Parker and rape. No, there's no need to fucking discuss Nate Parker and rape anywhere on the planet. There's no need. Maybe we should do a movie about fat bitches who fucking come out of the woodwork and want to accuse somebody and want to fucking, you know, desecrate somebody who's been acquitted of rape and how they're psychotic for doing it. Maybe that's the movie we should, you see. There's no need for a discussion about rape anywhere around Nate Parker or this damn movie. Period. The end. And but for this dangerous ass fat bitch, it wouldn't be. And you have a sister sitting there who was in the damn movie. Worked with Nate Parker. Knows the story. Knows what she's talking about. This fat heifer hasn't even seen the movie. And is trying to lead this damn, pageant for people to not see it. I got no respect for a fat ass. I'm over her. Now, let us continue with this vomit.
Anjanou.
What grieves me, and when I say grief, sister, I mean grief. I mean sobbing in the street grief. Is that I when I talk about this thing of shared pain, and I know that you have a certain level of distrust of me because
no.
Just let
There's
me
a lot of
finish
assumptions being made here. I totally trust you.
No, but what I'm saying is that not just you, but there would be someone who would level a little bit of distrust of me because they think I'm self-serving because I'm in it. But the reason why I could have bowed out of this movie a long time ago, because who needs this? Mm-hmm. You know, there are articles right now, one written in Jezebel yesterday, that question my judgment. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what have I done? Question my judgment. Now, so I could have bowed. Who needs this? Who needs this? Who needs it? Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is there are sentences in this movie, and Roland, you've seen it, so you can account for that.
Yes.
That I can quote right now that have literally gotten me through the day. gotten me through the day. And the reason why it's so important to me is because I had the education that I had. Because I know other people are having these terrible miseducations and misinformations. And because that exists, and sister, as a woman who's acting as a black feminist, as a black activist, what about your concern? What about, I'm not going to, because I don't want you to think that I'm criticizing you or attacking you in any way whatsoever. But what about using this movie? Using this movie, because the thing is, it may be flawed, it may come from an immoral man. But right now, this is an opportunity that we have to discuss black liberation. And here's also the loss. The other loss is we give white people a pass.
I do not. So we're having this conversation about black feminists and black activists. We are literally giving no one a pass. Black women have been in the background of civil rights for a long time.
You see there? Have been in the background of civil rights for a long time. First of all, black women have not always been in the background. There's a time when black men actually stepped up to their fucking responsibility. And they stepped out front. They understood what our role is, what our responsibility is. But again, it plays into the narrative of she just wants to cast all men aside. Fuck these men. You see? Lack of intellect, lack of penis. You see? Lack of self-esteem. There's a few things going on with her. And they're all bad. Like I say, she is a danger. A danger. And many of the strides we've made has been because of women. You know, I remind her it was Rosa Parks that sat on that damn bus. It wasn't Ronald Parks, it was Rosa Parks. It was Fannie Lou Hamer who marched into the Democratic National Convention and said, we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. It's Shirley Chisholm who's the first woman to run for fucking president in this bitch. She just doesn't know what she's talking about. But more than that, like I say, she has an agenda. There's nothing anybody up there is going to be able to say to her. She's determined to make this about men and rape and not Nat Turner's revolt. And she wants to suddenly make Nate Parker guilty, even though it was 1,000 years ago and he was found not guilty. No, not good enough for the fat bitch. She wants to continue on. Fuck her. I'm over it.
Wait a second. Even Ida B. Wells wrote about what was happening to black men, lynchings of black men, when black women were also being lynched.
I had to come in again, y'all. You see there? She's so desperate. She's going all the way back to this. I'm really trying to drive this point home. I'm trying to tell you, help you understand why she's a fucking fat bitch and a whore and a demon and every other name that I've called her. Because here she is going all the way back to fucking, well, there was women that was lynched too. What the fuck does that have to do with anything now? And what does that have to do with this movie? You see where her mind is? If you didn't get it up to now, do you get it now? Do you get it? Do you get it? With her, it's a competition of suffering between black men and black women. Well, what about us? I'm over it. We all in the same damn boat. Oh my God. Let me try and finish this now. Let's finish it out. I'm going to try not to cut in anymore, you guys.
Saying it's not a critique. It's not a critique of black feminism.
I think we're saying the same thing.
We're not saying the same thing because you're coming from a position of if you go see this movie.
I never said that.
No, listen.
I never said anybody is wrong for going to see the movie.
But there are people who do
it and to not be reduced to being petty, dumb, or arrogant. That is what I'm doing. And because at the end of the day, we're having this conversation. But my point is that in how we're talking about this, when this narrative was pushed forward, that it was a potential flop, whether you agree if it was a flop or not, people are now blaming black women still. So where is our reciprocity? Where does our healing happen?
one
where
second.
we're off the table
Wait a
and talking about our shared pain instead of our reactions to black men and what they think.
Okay, here's the thing. How are we going to talk about shared pain if we don't talk about it?
Let's talk about it.
Okay,
Absolutely.
and I feel that
talk about it.
But
The absence of this movie.
But here's the deal, though.
Why?
We can't.
Hold on.
But under
Go
what
ahead.
circumstance? Under what circumstance? How? How is that going to happen in McComb, Mississippi? How is that going to happen?
Queen Sugar, Insecure.
Insecure is not talking about Nat Turner. Insecure is not talking about.
Reboot. We have all these
Roots
shows
is not talking about Nat Turner. Roots is not talking about
But they're also talking about black liberation. And
they're not. No, they're not. They're not talking about black liberation in the history. They're not.
We have a Paris Thatcher.
All right.
We have a Donna Edwards. Zero women are in the Senate right now, and we're fighting for all that at the same time of saying we're not going to
fighting together. We're not fighting together.
We are.
No, we're not. No, we're not. You're excluding. You're excluding people.
My feminism makes room for both.
It doesn't, though. Not right now. It doesn't.
I want both of us.
But I'm asking for that. That's not
I'm not going to use the movie though. I'm not going to use the movie.
When you do that,
I wouldn't use the Cosby Show.
But let me say
when
this.
when you do that, at this moment, we have this platform. At this moment.
Yeah.
And then so what we have to do is wait for a better man to make it or wait for a better woman to make it.
No, these narratives are being made right now.
You said we can wait. We can do another movie.
We can do another movie, but actually black feminists and black folks aren't waiting. Black Lives Matter is being led by 3 black queer women. BYP 100 is led by a black queer woman. We have women, even the folks who are with Hillary Clinton's campaign, there's a lot of black women behind that. Black women make up our voting. We are the most reliable voting bloc. So to say that we're not here trying to make these differences is absurd.
I'm not saying that you're not here. I'm not
We're saying we want more in this case, but if you want to movie,
and here's the thing. I heard you in the dressing room, and you said it wasn't that good. No way.
That's what the reviews are saying.
Because you didn't see it.
You didn't see it.
You didn't see it, but you're saying, because you're spreading that narrative, and you didn't see it. You're saying that there's a rape scene in the movie.
But
there is no way.
Black women who
right, but why don't you trust your own judgment? Why don't you trust your own judgment? And black feminists like myself, who's in it, who's talking about? No, you're not. You're not. You're condemning me, sister.
Even Gabrielle Union has said if you don't want to see the movie,
did you read
I read every word.
Did you read it?
I read it. I really did read it, and I commend you for every point that you made. But what I'm saying is, this debate makes room for both sides.
Let me say this here.
You're not making that room.
Let me say this here.
You're not making that room.
I don't see you as my opposition. I
feel that opposition. I feel that opposition.
Let me clear it right now that you are not my opposition.
Personally, from this discussion, that may not be the case, but people who think the way you do and who are aligned with your reasoning, they do.
Boom. Bullseye. You hear that? I don't see you as my opposition. I see black men. There it is, everybody. The defense rests. The defense rests. That's what this is all about for her fat ass. I hate when people bring their... Listen, one of my siblings... Well, actually, a lot of my siblings have the same issue. You can't talk to them in a hypothetical or in an empathetic way pertaining to someone else. They're only hearing the voices in their head and putting themselves in the fucking movie. It's like, okay, you're not in this movie. We're going to talk about the movie. All right, let's talk about the movie and without your ass being in it, sort of thing. You know what I mean? And so she suffers from that too. Yeah, anything. So she's proven my point all the way up till now. You know, it's about taking down Nate Parker. It doesn't matter that he was found guilty, that he was found not guilty. She's taken on the incarnation of the white devil master. Of, well, throw out that not guilty verdict. Fuck that. I still think he's guilty. He's guilty. Matter of fact, let me show you a picture of one of these damn protests that went on at the fucking theater. And what do you see out there? Fucking white fucking bitches. That's what you see. Let me show you this before we continue. Now, look. This is a protest in front of some theater. You see one coon ass bitch right here. Some fake ass sellout nigga over here. It look like a potential other coon. But these are white bitches. Because in their mind, not guilty is not applicable to an African man at any time, under any circumstance. The implication of a crime is equals guilty in their sick, depraved minds. And she's joined that narrative. I got no respect for this fat bitch. None. 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 It's enough that we got to deal with this white devil every damn day. And as it relates to black men, we got to deal with this historical white bitch all the damn time, of which Nate Parker was the victim of. And any black female coming with this bullshit has got to be ignored, discredited, and cast aside. I'm over it.
Because they're standing up against rape and rape culture.
That's not what's happening.
Let me first of all, let me say this here.
It's condemnation.
Let me say this here.
It's not critique.
So,
you heard your girl say there at the end. You know, it's criticism, not critique. Or what did she say? Damn it. Anyway, you know, this man-ass bitch is sickening to me. She's sickening. You know, there at the end when she said, so because I cut in before, in between the statement, when she said, so you rather for it to be about this or something like that than about rape and rape culture. But earlier you heard her say, I wouldn't use the movie just like I wouldn't use Bill Cosby. And I think that might have been when the time that I was trying to remember, when it was something else that was on this show, and then they just turned it into like rape. Like, I don't think it was this. I think it was I don't know. It might even been the Colin Kaepernick thing. I don't remember, but somehow they turned something into fucking like rape in the black community. Like, I'm like, what the fuck did we get there? You know. So she's that. You know, she's a bitter ass black woman, bitter as shit, bitter, and she's cloaking and hiding under this whatever her title is supposed to be, you know. But I'm not buying it. She's a bitter bitch that's not getting any penis. Don't a man want her? You see, because she, for whatever reason, has issue with men. And here you have this sister up there who she identifies herself. She goes, I'm a feminist and I'm in the movie. You know, like, basically you trying to discount my feminism. You know, it's kind of what she's saying. Like, and she was really being nice, because she was basically saying, like, I'm the real fucking feminist. You just a fat bitch sitting up here throwing darts. I'm a feminist and I'm in the movie and I support this story and etc. etc. You know what I mean? But I actually work with Nate Parker and all of that. But like I say, the thing that heats my ass up so much is the fact that this brother was found not guilty. If you want to tell me that he was found guilty and served time, and now he's out making this movie, and she wants to sit her fat ass up there and say something, I still wouldn't like it, but I could at least see it. You know, she would at least have some ground. You know, this guy was convicted of rape, and now, you know, how it still wouldn't be appropriate, because that's not even what the movie's about. So you just need to come forward and say, then she would just have to come forward and say, I just don't want to see this movie because the guy that made it was convicted of rape. Fine, that's your prerogative. Fine. You see, I still would be arguing, well, it was 17 years ago and he did his time. You know what I mean? So that would be my argument then. But for this, it's just like there's no grounds for the shit she's bringing. And like I say, the nail on the head was when the sister said, we was in the dressing room, and you said, "Well, I heard it wasn't that good." No way, you know. And you haven't even seen it. And then when she was like, I'm not at issue with you. I'm at issue with black men. That just said it. Done. Done. I don't know how big whatever organization she's with is, but any black women that follow her, either you are misguided and you're dumb and you need to get out from under her, or if you really believe the way she believes, you're all nothing but a bunch of bitter ass bitches, and you need to stay the fuck sequestered away from the rest of humanity, because we definitely don't need you. We definitely don't need you. These are the type of women that I'm always defending black women against, when brothers be saying that it's that all black women are like this fat bitch, and I'm like, nah, sisters ain't out to get you, and this and the third, and I'll go in on them. You know what I mean? So she represents that. So she needs to take her bitter ass and her bitter crew someplace to Bitterland and sat the fuck down, because they never talked about the beauty of the movie and anything that was substantive about the movie. It was everybody up there has been trying to. They should have just thrown that bitch off the set. You know what I mean? Like, hold up, dumb bitch. We here to talk about this movie that came out. We not, in which there is no rape scene, and the director and star of the film was found not guilty 17 damn years ago. So what's your issue? Where's your man at? When's the last time you had sex? So I'm saying, just put her ass on the grill. I would have asked that if I was up there. I don't care if it was off camera. I would have asked her ass that, because I believe in getting to the bottom of people. Fuck that. You're not gonna hide when you in the presence of the Jedi. Nah, no niceties. No niceties. No niceties. I'm that dude that'll turn to you and tell you, your breath is really bad right now. You need to work that out. You need to work through that. That's how I feel about it. Anyways, this really just set my barometer off when I saw this morning. Like I say, she's been building with me anyways, because I've gotten negative energy from her before. She's just, her whole posture and her whole body language and everything. It's too. I've always felt something like not good through her. You know what I mean? And so I always kind of had a extra. Excuse me. Like an extra like squint eye on her ass anyway, but this just brought it to full fruition. Like, I'm over her ass. She's just there to destroy this brother. And that's why the sister said, what if this movie is remade, if a different man makes it, or better yet, a different woman makes it. You know what I mean? She was actually throwing low-key shade at her ass then, to say, well, you don't want anything that any man has to do with anyway. And then the first part of the shade, when she said, whether if another man made it, in other words, like, obviously you think Nate Parker is somehow still guilty. I wish Roland had just said, hold up, everybody. Amber, are you one of these people that, even though Nate Parker was found not guilty in a white court in white ass America for raping a historical white bitch, are you, fat ass, upset that he was not found guilty, that you just think in your heart of hearts that all things be damned, even though you probably weren't even born then, who knows, that just because of only what you've read in the media, that you've decided that he's somehow guilty of that? I want you to answer that question for me right now. I would have put her ass right there on the spot. And I prescribe that for my people. Start putting people on the spot, because they least expect the shit. They least expect it. I'm always outside of the lines, because in this society, people, it's just like if you're on the elevator or you're on the escalator. You know what I mean? And somebody, or somebody's doing something. They expect you're trained not to say nothing. I'm not that dude. I'm not him. If it's in my presence, it will get fucking highlighted. Know this. It just goddamn it will. There'll be no hiding. And I wished he had just exposed her ass right there on the damn show. You know, because we're talking about the film in the context of him being an innocent man. This isn't even about him. And then plus, once the sister said there isn't even a rape scene in this movie, and she's like, "Well, isn't it based on that? Isn't that the principle? Is that what the revolt was predicated on?" She was like, "Nah." The only thing intelligent for her to say after that was, "Wow, I had no idea," and shut the fuck up and left the set. She's just there to aggravate. And, she lucky Cleo wasn't sitting over there by her. Because he probably would have just punched her in her damn grill. Oh my God. If you are that female, if you agree with her, you are a problem ass female. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And it won't nobody want to have shit to do with your ass. And lastly, this goes to when you always hear me say we have to weed out those amongst us, everybody, that are a problem to us or that don't stand with us. This is another example of that type of human being. We don't accept her as one of us. We don't. We must have absolute. We must. You go join the military tomorrow and they put you through boot camp. You come in there with some like fucking amazing hairdo, like you're a dude and shit. The first thing I'll do is shave your damn head. Because there must be absolutes. Absolutes. They put you in a uniform. That means we're all the same. We expect you to think, do, eat, breathe, and sleep the same as everybody else. They come and inspect your damn bunk. Your bunk doesn't look like the bunk next to it. Your ass is written up. Or whatever the hell they do. You understand? It's about establishing a oneness amongst that core. That's what the military is about. Because in battle, we don't have time for you to be an individual. No time for that. No time for that. And that's how you need to see this. First, you need to accept that we're at war in this nation. And then everything that I just said after that will make more sense to you. So when I say we must have absolutes, that's why I mean that. We must all think, eat, breathe, sleep, and shit the same damn way. Anybody that doesn't has got to fucking go. This is the Jedi.